on a Friday. Happy Friday to you and yours. Enjoy the weather. Let's have a frickin' weekend, shall we? It's Mr. Irrelevant. I'm Alex Strouf with you from the Gurgle offices. One call, that's all studio. At the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, Joshie DiMaggio is here. Will Summers is here. And, of course, producer Tiny Hands, our guy Hunter Vaughn, who does the most work on this show. We should probably give him his flowers right off the top. Hunter Vaughn is back at the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. Joshie, Will, you guys have been bullying me for most of the morning. Is that a fair assessment, Joshie?
I don't know about bullying. We've observed a behavior of yours and commented on it with fair regularity.
All right, so for those of you not watching on the video stream, I'm just going to show you this. All right, this is what I'm drinking this morning, or this afternoon, rather. This is a cherry Coke, the same one I drank Wednesday from the same restaurant. Will that hold there?
It has a pinkish hue to the brown.
Yeah, so they add cherry syrup, this place I go to. It's very good. It's very, would you like some?
No.
It's very tasty.
Nope.
So, Will, as I was walking into the studio about 5 minutes ago, you said to me, you got to stop drinking that bleep, man.
Mm-hmm. Just looking out for your health.
And I don't know why you view it that way. Like, why are you looking out for my health? It's not like I'm drinking 8 of these a day. I'm having one soda. I have one soda per day on the weekdays. I don't drink soda on the weekends unless it's part of like a mixed drink, right? If I'm having like if I'm mixing like my whiskey with a Coke, right?
So you're drinking soda on the weekend.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I mean,
no, we just replace them with barley pops.
It's different if it's mixed with
barley
something,
pops,
right?
Yeah.
Barley and wheat pops, indeed.
You are the only person I know that is your age that consistently
26,
consistently consumes full-bodied, full-flavored soda every single day. You and the gamers that we see out here who spend most of their time in front of a computer screen or with an Xbox controller in hand, those are the only people. When I was, and I'm sure this applies to the rest of us, when we were 14 and playing Halo or whatever Will was playing since he was
a baby when Halo came out,
yeah. That it's a very sophomoric thing. The consumption of regular Diet Soda incredibly popular. I believe at this point Diet Coke is more popular than regular Coke in terms of like what consumers buy via the can.
All right, hold on. Here, let's take a look at medical news today. The average American drinks roughly 8 12-ounce cans of soda per week, or just over 38 gallons a year.
Yeah.
I drink less than that. I drink about 5 sodas a week.
I think you're giving yourself a generous rating.
I don't.
Well, of course you don't. You said it.
Yeah, but I believe that, and I think I know me more than you know me.
Nah.
You know me pretty well. I won't argue with that.
We also have to factor in here. You've been known to enjoy adult beverage the same way I have.
That I won't argue with.
So when we mix in adult beverages to the soda consumption, we're drinking a lot.
Okay, that I won't argue with. Yeah. I do like to have an adult beverage.
Uh-huh.
I like a good happy hour. I love a good happy hour.
I'll be having some tonight.
Like is an understatement. Yeah, you can go see Joshie, by the way. Where are you tonight?
Camp Bar in Tosa.
Camp Bar in Wauwatosa, if you're feeling up for the Bucks game. They play the Knicks tonight?
Yes.
It's Bucks Knicks. If you're looking for something to do, Michelob Ultra and Joshie will be out at Camp Bar in Wauwatosa, so make sure you go say what's up to him. But I think I'm all right. I appreciate Will's concern to my soda. I'm not going to call it an addiction. I do drink a few sodas a week, but it's not like I'm out of hand.
So when I consume a regular soda, which is at this point pretty rare,
okay,
do you not get like a tummy ache?
I occasionally do, and that's when I don't finish them. Now, again, I want to point out, and I think I've said this to you before, but I don't know if I've said it on the show or not. I got this soda at about 12 noon, and I'm maybe what would you say, a quarter of the way in?
Sure.
This will last me until 4 o'clock.
Also, the interesting thing about you, too, is you never drink just a classic Coca-Cola.
No, I'm not a classic soda guy. I need a flavor.
You've come in with, like, the Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Yep.
You've come in with, like, the variation
Baja Blast.
Well, you can only drink it from Taco Bell via the fountain. Otherwise, every other.
No, the bottle's good. I got to bring in one of these days. I have some.
Won't
in my
drink
fridge.
it?
Bottle's good.
Yes, you will. And throw it on a cup of ice. Ooh, baby.
No.
Now we're talking. But no. So your observation is correct. I am a flavored soda guy.
Yeah, they're always like intricately flavored.
Yes.
It's never just a straight up Coca-Cola.
So my favorite sodas are this, right? So I have 3 sodas I primarily
Play
drink.
the music.
Yeah, go ahead, Hunter. Give me a little NFL music while you're at it. So I drink 3 types of soda. Okay, so the 3 main brands that I drink are the following: Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, and Coca-Cola. And you will find out, as Joshy is pointing out, now Mountain Dew, I will drink the original Mountain Dew. If I am drinking a Dr. Pepper that is not from McDonald's, I didn't
even know Dr. Pepper was served at McDonald's.
Oh, it's good. I mean, McDonald's soda, for whatever reason, is like electric.
Yeah,
and I don't
put more syrup in.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah.
But it feels like it vibrates your brain a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And I know, Will's a big Diet Coke guy.
Huge Diet Coke guy.
And the Diet Coke from McDonald's also just like it tickles your brain in a weird way. Now, I drink typically like Code Red Mountain Dew or Baja Blast Mountain Dew.
Code Red is literally the platonic ideal of gamer sauce.
You must be the only person
You're
over the age
13.
of 12 that drinks that.
Why would you ever admit that you drink Code Red? Ever.
I was about to throw out the fact that Voltage is really good. I also really
I don't even know what Voltage is.
the blue one.
Why?
Not only are you consuming an incredible high level of sugar, you are then also ingesting all those dyes that they keep warning us about being problematic. You said, you know what? Give me the dye, give me the sugar.
Yeah, no doubt. Tickles my brain in a different way. I also really like the Live Wire. That's the orange flavored one, Mountain Dew. I could go all day.
See?
That sounds like an addiction. You just said it tickles your brain.
Yeah.
Now, for Dr. Pepper, I really like extra cherry
What?
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper's already a flavored soda.
Yeah, but I want extra cherry in my Dr.
That's
Pepper.
crazy.
Or the vanilla one, also really good. Have you ever had the Dr. Pepper cream soda flavored one?
No, of course not.
It's really good.
It is good. I'll back you on that one.
Thanks. And then finally, Coke. I just love cherry Coke. So cherry is one of the flavors that I love, right? So like I've mentioned on the show before, I'm a candy guy. I like candy.
Shocker.
In fact,
No way.
hold on a minute. Look what I got in my back pocket right now. Starburst wrapper. I had a couple Starburst this morning.
You're just throwing wrappers
yeah,
in your back pocket and not throwing them away?
Well,
Like,
so
you're 12 years old.
Our director of finance here at Good Karma Brands, she has a candy bin in her office, and I am probably one of like 3 people that go in there to eat it. And she always refills the Starburst. So I'm a fruit candy guy. So I like Starburst, I like Skittles, I like Nerd Clusters. Like those are my go-to candies. And so, yeah, cherry is just a flavor that has always tickled my fancy. So cherry Coke is the way to go.
I got to admit, I thought you were going to come out ahead of this one and think we were overreacting. And I think each one of us is more convicted in our beliefs.
Okay, so, Will, do I have a problem?
Yeah, how are your teeth not falling out of your head with how much sugar you eat? You know, one Coke is like it goes over the amount of sugar you're supposed to have in a day. There's 39 grams in a 12-ounce Coke, and you're only supposed to have 36 grams.
Let me
Not to get scientifical.
All right,
Scientifical,
huh?
Is that a word?
Scientific is what you're looking for.
Yeah, I had to put a little extra on it.
A little oomph. All right, so here is my average intake of drinks, and then we will move on to the Packers. I start the day with a black coffee. Okay, normal, right? Normal start to the day.
Yep.
And
Normal
then
adult
I
stuff.
carry around this water bottle. It's 24 ounces, so I will finish one of these after the coffee. I will drink an entire thing of water. Then I will go get lunch. Typically I'll get a sub or a sandwich, or today I got like a little cheeseburger, and I will get a soda with my lunch every day. Usually a cherry Coke. Okay.
if you didn't bring a live wire from home.
You mean if his mom didn't pack one in his lunch? Like, because again, he's 12.
If the grocery store was on a Cold Red.
So then I will pair one of these waters with a soda, and I will drink these concurrently. So concurrently, when I finish the water, I will finish the soda, and typically that takes a few hours. And then the rest of the day is water, or if it's a Friday night like tonight is, I might have a beer or two.
That was your biggest lie.
What's that?
If it's a Friday, like that matters.
Yeah.
We know you, Strouf. You're going out
If it's a day
no
that
matter
ends
what
in
day
Y.
it is.
Yeah. I mean, goodness gracious. One of these chairs here at the 3rd Street Market Hall bar has your ass grooves in it from you sitting there every 3 times a week. You've built in grooves that are matched up perfectly to your cheeks.
So the NFL draft is less than a month away. That did not work out.
How'd that go for you?
Not nearly anywhere I thought it went, to be honest with you. So the NFL draft coming up in less than a month up in Green Bay begins April 24th. That is the Thursday and, of course, the night of the first round. And while the buzz and the excitement of the NFL draft is certainly here, right, man? Like everybody I've talked to is going. Josh, are you having similar conversations? I'm just curious if that's only. I feel like anybody I've talked to, my friends, people I work with, it seems like just about everybody is heading up to Green Bay for the draft.
I no, that's not the case for me. I think you probably have more people that are from the area originally or near the area currently. I do have a few friends that have reached out about, hey, are you going to be up there? Mostly just guys planning to do like a day or two at the draft. So, I mean, I think everybody, if you're in Wisconsin, are going to know somebody that goes. I mean, it's at 250,000 expected people at that thing.
I feel like that's under.
That's what Green Bay says.
I don't know about that, man. The way I view it is I think there's literally going to be so the population of Green Bay. Something I recently learned about myself, by the way, is I'm really good with populations and like
population guy.
Like if somebody wants to pull up the top 10 populated cities in the United States, I'm a population guy. If somebody wants to pull up the top 10 populated cities in the United States, I think I could rattle them. I think I could rattle them off in order.
I mean, I don't think you could do an order. There's no way.
That's the thing. I think I could.
No.
We'll do that in a second.
Could you do the top 10 populated cities in Wisconsin?
Yes, I could do that too.
Hold on.
What?
We're not just going to go.
We'll get back to it.
I
just want to make this point
now.
because I'm going to tell you right now, Green Bay, the number 3 populated city in the state of Wisconsin, has a population of about 106,000. And we are expecting probably triple that for the NFL draft, which is the point I was trying to make before we all got distracted. It is a Friday after all. I understand we got a little bit of Friday energy going on here. But it's going to be nuts. Like, I don't know how this many people. And by the way, the draft is actually held in Ashwaubenon, not Green Bay. So it's going to be bonkers. And I'm very much looking forward to it. But it is going to be a sea of football fans coming up in a month. We will get to the Packers and why I think I've landed on what position they're going to draft in the first round in just a moment. But what are we doing first? Are we doing U.S. cities or are we doing Wisconsin
Let's go
cities?
macro, Hunter, if you've got your list.
I have both
start with
lists.
that one. I've got Wisconsin.
Okay.
All right, great.
Okay, great.
So,
Let's go with the United States first. So it goes New York, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I think Chicago is 3 now.
I don't know. You tell us.
Things get hairy around here.
Because it's close, right? So I know that there's another city that has bounced back and forth. So I believe Chicago is 3. Sneaky 4 here, people. Sneaky 4. Houston, Texas is 4.
It's not sneaky. Only thing people know about it is how gigantic it is.
So Houston, Texas 4th. I believe Atlanta comes in at 5th.
No.
Is Atlanta 6th then?
Not in the top 10, as
Yeah.
far as I can tell.
Oh. Okay, so I'm a phony. Got it.
Yep.
Well, let me give you the other ones then, just right away that I know are in there. Dallas Fort Worth is top 5, I believe.
Atlanta's 37.
Is it really?
And by the way, Fort Worth, separate city, so Dallas, number 9.
They don't combine their population? I thought
No,
they did.
you're confusing media markets or DMAs with actual cities. You're such a fraud.
All right, let me get Philadelphia.
Number 6.
You're still going?
Yeah, I'm still going. Let me get Miami, Florida.
No.
Okay, let me get San Francisco, California.
No.
Miami's 42.
Let me get Seattle, Washington.
Seattle's 18.
Nope.
You are. You.
All right. Can I rebound here with Wisconsin?
Well, we have to go
want you to
through
get
the actual
more.
top 10.
Yeah, we got to tell people. We can't just have you give the worst answers ever and then move on.
Let me get Minneapolis.
No.
I know that's not on the list. I'm just joking.
46.
I'm just joking. All right, I give up. What's the top 10?
Starting at number 10, Jacksonville. Number 9, Dallas. 8, San Diego. 7, San Antonio.
Really?
6, Philadelphia. 5, Phoenix. And then Houston, Chicago, LA, New York.
I mean, what a debacle.
Wow.
What a debacle.
Great comment on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube chat from SDN40 says, Strouf is a population guy and a 3-cone drill guy. Yeah, that's me. I got my shortcomings. Wow, I made myself laugh so hard I'm crying. All right, let me get a rebound here. Let's do the top 10 Wisconsin cities. All right, let's just knock these out right away. This is easy. This is light work here. All right, it goes. Oh, we changed the music.
Yeah. Figure it, let's go some college football.
Oh, I'm crying. All right, let's just knock these out. That's Milwaukee, Madison, Green Bay, Racine,
Nope.
Kenosha.
Nope.
Is it Kenosha, Racine?
Yeah.
Yep.
4-5, Kenosha, Racine?
Yep.
Okay. Then we have Waukesha somewhere in there. I don't know the exact order here. What?
They are 8th.
Okay, I missed 7.
Your whole thing was you know populations and you could give us them in order.
Oh, I missed Appleton. My bad. Missed Appleton. Right?
Yes.
Okay, then it goes Waukesha, and then it goes, oh boy. I think Janesville is like 9th or 10th, right?
They're 10th.
So bigger than Janesville. How about,
Come on. Do you need a hint?
how about Wausau?
Nope.
No.
Oh, Wausau's 13th.
18th.
18th.
Stop trying to call your shot. You're not close. We've established you're a fraud. You just need to.
Wauwatosa?
No. They're 14th. Do you know?
Sheboygan?
No.
13th.
They're 13th.
I thought this game was easier than it is.
Do you know the home that?
Oh, Eau Claire. Duh, Eau Claire.
Yes, I was
Yep.
gonna say the home that Justin Vernon calls.
Oh, yeah, that's Bon Iver, right?
Yes.
Eau Claire's in there. What am I missing? What number am I missing?
Number 9.
Did you?
Because he got number 10 with Janesville. And he
They
got.
share a lot in
Yeah.
common with the Tennessee Titans.
That's a great hint.
That is an awesome hint.
It's a layup hint.
Nashville's not in Wisconsin.
Oh my gosh.
Is that a city called Nashville?
Think about Titan.
Oh, Oshkosh.
There we
There we go.
Sure. So population guy. Proven, right? I did all right there.
No.
And to think you tried to sneak that by us. I knew that was phony from the moment you said it. I might be the most vindicated man in history right now.
You know, it's amazing. Our viewership has gone up.
They said, you got to see this guy.
You got to see
He's
this
making
ass.
an ass of himself. I got him in order.
I think you got 3 in order. That was like the
Yes.
best you were able to do for
No,
both of them.
no.
Yeah.
No, I got 4 in both. I got 5 in Wisconsin. I got 4 in the United States.
You got 10 right. But then you mixed up Kenosha Racine. You forgot about Eau Claire as a whole. You didn't know what Oshkosh was.
I like how he said that he might be a little off because the population's changing, and then he just threw out one that was 40th and 37th ranked.
And then tried to throw in a media market.
Like, people are moving. What do you want?
I want you to come back on Monday and have the top 20 in one of these just memorized. I want you to sit at home while you're drinking your full flavored Code Red, your Volt whatever it is.
With the Call of Duty code on the back.
Yeah. Scratch off.
Got to get that double XP.
You want a free skin.
I'm gonna piss my pants.
You're more of a soda guy than you are any of these guys you claim to be. Soda guy is number one.
So I think I figured out what position the Packers are going to draft in the first round. And here's why. So, Jesus, take the wheel. Whew. So I've been looking at the top 30 visits that the Packers have taken, excuse me. And I think it gives you obviously a pretty good ideology as to what the Packers are looking for. Now, they're going to they're going to do their due diligence. They're going to visit with a lot of positions and position groups, right? The news yesterday was they're visiting with Texas wide receiver Isaiah Bond, who's looked at as a round 2 or 3 pick. Probably a top 10 receiver in this draft. Pretty good receiver class this year, Joshy, if I'm not mistaken, right? There's probably 11 or 12 wide receivers that could go in the first 2 days.
Slight on top end talent, but through the later first and into the second, there will be a decent amount taken.
That's certainly what it looks like. And, I think the Packers obviously are in the market for a receiver, but I don't think this is the year that they finally, buck the trend of not drafting receivers in the first round. They haven't done that since 2002 with Javon Walker. I would imagine that does not change in 2024 with the draft just outside of Lambeau Field. I think we are getting set up again to go, kind of like we did last year, right? The thought last year was, they need, they could use a receiver. They could use a cornerback. They could use a safety. They could use a linebacker. I think linebacker was probably the sexy pick in the 2024 draft that a lot of Packers fans were hoping for. I remember I did a lot of research strictly on linebackers just because it felt like a foregone conclusion last year. This year, I think it's going to be offensive line. I think signaling, that they're shorthanded, number one, by signing Aaron Banks from the San Francisco 49ers. I think losing Josh Myers. Are you ready to start Jordan Morgan? I don't know about that. Rasheed Walker is entering the final year of his contract. I think for the second year in a row, the Packers are going to go offensive linemen in the first round. Some of their 2 of their top 30 visits, they've only done 5 so far. 2 of their top 30 visits have been offensive linemen. And I think Goody gets fixated, and not in a bad way, but he gets fixated on problems. When you think about the playoff game, the final game of the season ultimately for the Packers against the Philadelphia Eagles, outside of the non-existent pass rush throughout the entirety of the season, the biggest problem in that game specifically was the offensive line. When you had a guy go down and you brought in other bench players, they couldn't shine under the bright lights. They just couldn't. Penalties, holding, false starts, losing. It was just gross. And I think Goody is going to overcorrect the offensive line position this year, similarly to how he overcorrected on safety last year. Now, obviously, last year safety, there was really nobody under contract, right? Darnell Savage walked, Jonathan Owens walked. They just didn't really have safeties on the roster. So they signed Xavier McKinney and they drafted 3 of them. Not in the first round, but they drafted 3 of them, 2 of which made a big impact on this defense in Evan Williams and Javon Bullard. I think Goody is fixated on the offensive line. Brings in Aaron Banks, drafted last year Jordan Morgan. I think first round, it is going to be another, all right, what does that do for us right now? I think offensive line is where the Packers are going to go in the first round. And I am not super thrilled about that idea, but given some of the things I've been reading into, given some of the top 30 visits that they are taking, it seems to me like offensive line is a no-brainer. Now, speaking of rumors, and we are in the middle of rumor season, of course, when it comes to the NFL draft, Matt Miller of ESPN posted a 7-round mock draft on ESPN.com. And he wrote this after he had the Packers selecting an offensive lineman in the first round. Quote, rumors around the league have Green Bay drafting a tackle early. End quote, from Matt Miller, who's a terrific draft insider on ESPN and ESPN.com. Quote, rumors around the league have Green Bay drafting a tackle early, end quote. Now, rumors are just that, rumors. But I don't think this is a bad rumor, and I don't think this is a false rumor. I think Goody has proven who he is at this point. And that is a position where he looked at on Wild Card Weekend against the Philadelphia Eagles a couple months back and said, that is not close to good enough. Right? Jacob Monk, who I thought they brought in the mid-round last year, didn't pan out. I don't think he's ready to be the starting center, so that's likely Elton Jenkins. Maybe Jordan Morgan competes for a starting spot at left tackle over Rasheed Walker. As I mentioned, he's entering the final year of his deal. But I don't think you're thrilled about that idea either. I think it's offensive linemen, and unfortunately, I don't really feel very strongly about any other position at this point. Some of the reaction rolling in ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. As Chef Ed chimes in, bet the house on it. Goody's going to take an offensive lineman. The fact I'm thinking the same as you, Strouf, scares me, Chef Ed says. Joseph chimes in, telepathy with Strouf is indeed concerning. Joshy?
I think you have a chance to be right. I think the way you got there is wrong, incorrect, misdirected.
Why is that?
The two guys that they've had in already for visits are on the consensus board ranked in the 300th overall. So to connect that to first round offensive lineman doesn't really make sense.
No.
You've got the one rumor that works in your favor. I think the Packers are going to add depth there and try and find some of those mid to later round guys that are the option. I think if you look at the way the offseason went, Goody doesn't usually add in free agency and then add in the draft. I think they view those positions as in a good place now that they've added to them. The Packers now have 6 offensive linemen that you could make a case for starting at different positions. When you look at the edge rushers, Kingsley Enagbare is a rotational piece. Lucas Van Ness hasn't proven he's even an NFL player yet, and you had a down year from Rashawn Gary, who, if does not perform well, the Packers can move on from him after this year. If you look at the position to be drafted over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, if you really believe this, you should go over there, because the 4th best odds they have for the Packers to draft is offensive lineman at 350.
Wow. What's number 1?
Defensive line and edge at plus 150. So you are getting the potential of a tackle or an edge rusher.
Wow. I got to be honest with you. I didn't know they did odds on the position. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, you can. There's even some specials in there. If you click around, you can pick like first player drafted at each position.
Oh, fun.
Things along those lines. I think defensive lineman is far and away the favorite. The next best is cornerback at plus 200. After that is wide receiver. I think the signals we've seen of Brian Gutekunst being the only general manager at Tetro McMillan's workout is informative. I think,
but he's viewed as like a top 10 pick, isn't he?
No. He was in the draft process online. Then you started seeing the Daniel Jeremiahs, the Mel Kipers, the Matt Miller start to push him down in the draft. He still might be the first wide receiver drafted, but I think Luther Burden has a good case for that as well.
Sure.
So the reason he's kicking the tires and bothering with that is because he thinks there's a potential that he could end up there. That would be a 6'5" guy that immediately becomes a contributor.
And just a little cleanup on something you mentioned about who they visited with. These are typically depth pieces, right? These are later round picks typically.
Not necessarily.
No. Like last year, for example, right? He visited with, I'm looking at 2023, which I will get back to. But last year, Marius Mims, right? He went 23rd overall, I think. Or he was a first-round pick.
Yes.
Tyler Guyton, I believe, was either a late first-round pick or a second-round pick.
I believe he was the end of the first.
Xavier Leggett, who's the wide receiver drafted by the Panthers, he was an early second-round pick, right? So there are guys that go high in the draft, but typically the guys that Goody meets with in the top 30 and ends up taking are second or really mainly third-round or third-day guys, right? So let's look at 2023 and 2024. For example, here are guys that Goody visited with in the top 30 and then ended up acquiring, whether that be through the draft or through undrafted free agent. In 2023, keep track of these. Dontavian Wicks, the wide receiver. Lou Nichols, the running back. Sean Clifford, the quarterback. Ben Sims, the tight end. Kadeem Telfort, the offensive tackle. And Carl Brooks, the defensive lineman. So 6 of his top 30 visits ended up becoming Packers, and they were later picks in 2023. In 2024, it was more of the same, right? At linebacker, you had Edgerrin Cooper and Tyron Hopper, who Goody drafted both of. At safety, Kitano Ladapo, one of the 3 safeties he drafted last year, ended up in Green Bay. And then on the offensive line, Donovan Jennings, who was an undrafted free agent, was the guy they utilized in the top 30 visits.
Yeah, you left out an important part here, though. Lucas Van Ness, 13th overall pick, was a pre-draft visit. The 42nd overall pick was Lucas Musgrave. The 50th overall pick, Jaden Reed. All visits. So the Packers don't subterfuge here. If they want you, they bring you in. That's basically how I think you should view this. If this guy visits Green Bay, he is a guy they're thinking about taking, and they're doing the final checks and balances. I think that's probably like personality stuff, and ask some questions about some of the like deep dive and extremely uncomfortable personal life stuff that these scouts end up figuring out. I think if a guy ends up on that list, it means they're thinking about taking him. And I mean, I think largely in part, the visits match up with, we probably view this guy higher than the rest of the league. I think that's probably the signal, and that's why they end up being picks, because Goody says, well, I really like Dontavian Wicks. He's kind of said to be a 6th rounder. I'm going to take him in the 5th because that means I get my guy, and I still think I'm getting value on the pick. I think when it comes to Goody, saying he's going to draft an offensive lineman in the first round, I mean, that's like saying you're going to wake up and have a soda today.
Great callback.
Well,
Just great work by Josh. Great callback. No notes.
Goody loves the trenches.
I thought that was lazy, just so you know. I think that was lazy.
Yeah, that's fine. The rest of the audience didn't, so we'll take our wins where we can get them. The thing is, Goody prioritizes the trenches. That's very clear. That is the Green Bay approach. That's Goody's approach. I think my 2 surest confident bets, if I were to go to the Podwell Sportsbook and put money down, it would be both the edge, D-line, and then offensive line. I think they're in a better spot, and they're not desperate, but the draft comes down to, how do you view this guy? Where is he on your big board that they map out? Because, I mean, I believe they map out like 300 plus players. Sometimes it's fewer than that because they don't think there's draftable players, but these guys are all ranked somewhere along the lines, and then they mix in as a positional need or not. If they think there's a top 10 talent and it's at 23, they're taking that guy. Mm-hmm. I don't think it really matters other than taking a quarterback like last year or this year. I don't think it matters what position they play. I think it is, this guy is a difference maker, we're taking him. And that's sort of how they end up taking 3 or 4 guys at, like, I mean, Goody just throws as many picks at what he deems issues. I think edge rusher leads, to me, only because that production from that room was laughable.
Yeah, totally agree. But here's the thing, Joshy. I think they view it more as a coaching issue than they do a personnel issue.
Right.
Because when you look at the adjustments they've made this offseason, what have they signed? What have they brought in? Nothing. They brought in a new pass rush coach.
Right.
That was it.
That's so easy to say, but Goody's only going to take guys he believes can fit his system and what's going to work and are good players. Like, that doesn't... I don't necessarily think, oh, well, they haven't done anything there, so they're not going to.
Yeah.
I think the offseason is like, it's in its early stages for Goody's. He's still trying to figure out what they need. I think having 6 offensive linemen is a luxury. And adding a 7th one to it, hey, sure, it makes sense. And maybe you're planning to move on from Sean Ryan. You don't like his work ethic. I believe his offensive line coach said he was like overweight, not in shape, and not ready to play. That could be similar to how we're viewing the Romeo Doubs situation. That relationship's just over. He's useful because he's there.
Just received a text message from my college roommate.
Yeah.
Strouf, you are the cockiest bleep known to man. I thought it was me. It's not. It's you.
Why? What'd you do?
Because I said I could name the top 10 cities of population in both the United States and state of Wisconsin in order.
I think he has a good point.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
This is another parallel to your Ben Brust. You are every guy, and you greatly overimagine your abilities.
I overestimate myself greatly.
It is your.
But here's the thing.
It is your greatest attribute and your biggest flaw, all in one.
Here's the thing. It's never going to change either.
No,
right?
No.
You know,
we spent 10 minutes basically telling you you're not what you think you are, and you said, "Watch this, Buster."
And it proved all of us right.
And the next time something comes up, you're going to do it again.
You'll do it right again.
100%. I mean, I ran an NFL combine, for God's sake.
We are a couple weeks away from you being humbled and saying, "I'll get him next time."
Yep. I'll get him next time. All right. One last thing on the Packers and the draft before we get to a fun game that Hunter has come up with, which I don't really know how we're going to execute it yet, but we will get to it in just a second. So you mentioned that Goody is going to approach what he views as the flaws, right? And typically that's been in the trenches and probably will become the draft. Like, I'm not saying they won't draft an edge or a defensive tackle. I just think that's probably going to be a round 2, round 3, round 4 thing that Goody approaches.
The thing with edge that's interesting, and this is like basically it's first round or bust. Like, you can add depth and useful pieces, but if you want like a true here's the thing. If Goody thinks he has starters at that position, he's not going to draft the first round.
Agreed.
If he thinks that, well, Lucas Van Ness could be useful, but I don't have confidence in him being a starter, then that's where that makes sense.
But I'll tell you what I think is going to get ignored for the second year in a row, and that's wide receiver. I don't think that Goody views wide receiver as big of a hole as we do. They did not draft a wide receiver in last year's draft.
Nope.
I would not be floored if they don't again, but I think they will, and it'll be like round 5, round 6. I don't think you're getting a round 1. I don't think you're getting a day 2 receiver. I think that's going to be trenches galore and maybe a corner.
I think they invest in wide receiver.
I hope you're right.
I wouldn't be surprised if they throw 2 picks at it. You basically got an off year.
So do you do
totality.
do you do a Reed Wicks type thing, or I mean, probably not a Watson Dobbs because that was what, round 2, round 4.
Yeah, I mean,
Reed Wicks was round 2, round 5.
The thing is, the position they need, and who knows, maybe they view McCole Hardman as a deep threat, which I think we could call into question the validity of that statement, seeing as his average depth of target is basically the line of scrimmage, because he's largely a gadget player, but he is fast. That is one thing he has to his credit. If they view that they need that position and that guy to fill the Watson role, you're not going to get those guys late. When those guys that mix size and speed that way, those guys get pushed up draft boards because everybody wants one.
Yeah.
It's much like an edge rusher. The guys who have production and are athletic, everyone goes, well, yeah, he had 4.5 sacks, but I could turn him into a double-digit sack per year guy. That's sort of how that goes to me. What you doing over there? Strouf just stood up, walked over, grabbed an Apple remote.
Yeah, so we're about to play a game, but I need you to be able to see the screen. So I was trying to help you help me.
Well, you could have just told me, why don't you pull up the YouTube, because that's what you're going to do. And
I have a computer right to my right where
you
I can
tell
see.
me, I pull up YouTube, I watch on my screen in front of me.
So
okay, Josh, pull up YouTube.
We're just ignoring the fact that this conversation could have happened well before the show, because Strouf and I decided on this at 11:45 today, and we're going to do this now instead of.
Hold on. Actually, you decided on this at probably 9 a.m. Actually, is what happened.
Yes, I did.
It was well before 11:45 that this idea came about. I just forgot. Okay, I forgot. I'm sorry. So,
okay,
Josh,
I just wish you cared about the show more. That's all.
I do care about the show. I just forgot. I'm trying to help you, help us, help them, if that makes sense. All right, so what we are going to do, it says this content isn't available. Perfect.
Great.
So I can't even get it on the screen.
I'm looking at the screen. We're good.
Okay, great. We are going to play.
It's going to be delayed. So
Hunter has a list of video clips, is my understanding.
Yes, so we're going to if fans of the show will remember, a little while back, we did the wheel of audio clips.
Wheel of quotes, yes.
Wheel of quotes, that was it. And instead of actually playing them, we had Will read them. We're going to do Wheel of Clips.
Yeah, that was
good. Since it's a Friday, I figured...
instead of watching them, we're going to have Will act them out?
No.
Okay.
Strouf has the wheel, and he is going to spin it. And then I have assigned to each of the 5 colors a different clip. Now, since there's 3 of us on the show, we will only do 3 of them. So the 2 that get left off, then we don't do them until we go back to this segment. So it may sit on there for a while, and hopefully we remember what happened.
There's one on here that if it doesn't make today, it has to be a Monday.
It will make today, even if we don't get to it.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
here we go.
fine.
Well, hopefully I just spin it first and it takes up the rest of the time because it's actually that unbelievable. All right, that's the only one I know, though. I don't know any of the other ones.
I have no idea.
All right, here we go. Here is spin at number 1 on the wheel of colors. Purple, green, blue, red, and yellow, and it lands on blue.
All right, here is the clip for blue. We go to college hockey. Huge game winner.
Oh, boy.
Major, refeed, shot, score! Cornell takes the lead!
Cornell with...
Hockey horns are dope.
Yes. Cornell with the game winner over Michigan State in their regional final to go to the Frozen Four. Huge upset. Michigan State was dominating all year.
There was 8.5 seconds left. That's all I know. Nice game winner for Cornell. They are the Huskies?
Big Red, I believe.
I got nothing.
Yeah, Big Red sounds right.
They're just
Yeah.
the Big Red, the dumb gum.
Well, I think they
don't
were
chew
before the
Big
gum.
Red.
Like,
If you don't chew Big Red, then bleep you.
Ricky Bobby.
Big Red's the worst gum. We know that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it's awful. I don't chew gum, though. I don't chew gum.
Just
no, he doesn't like that
anti-gum.
don't
garbage
want
in
that
his
extra
body.
sugar.
My body is a temple, fellas. Don't know if we've come to this conclusion yet today. All right, another spin of the wheel following our college hockey debut.
Turned into a gum take.
We've got 5 colors, 4 remain. And it is purple, Hunter. Purple.
All right, purple. This one's a little bit of a longer one, but this was from the Bulls-Lakers game last night.
Oh, here we go. This is legendary.
Get it into Vucevic. Quick pass to Williams. Big shot for 3. Good. 2-point game. 9.8 left. Oh, loose ball. Giddy. The steal. Right for the lead. Yeah!
Big time plays make big time plays. Kobe, wait. Sub-Zero. Bang, bang, bang.
What a wild sequence. And the cardiac. Final shot before that. Here's Reeves. Reeves straight to the cup. Lays it in to take the lead. Bulls are out of timeouts. 2 seconds left. Giddy for the win. Go!
Oh, my God. I cannot believe this.
So for those of you on the audio side, I just want to explain what happened there. So the first 2 shots from the Bulls. First one is a 3-pointer. They were down 5. First one was a 3-pointer. They pull within 2. LeBron James passes the inbound. It's stolen away. Kobe White hits the 3 for the lead. On the other end, Austin Reeves hits a layup, essentially, a floater with about 3 seconds left. And then Josh Giddey hits a half-court shot, 47-footer, to win the game for the Bulls, who were down 6 with like 10 seconds left. Absolutely bonkers sequence. I mean, it is. I watched that a million times last night. It's so good. And then, after I watched it a million times, we had a 16-3 run by Texas Tech to beat, who'd they beat again? I'm so tired, I already forgot.
Arkansas.
Yeah, it was Calipari. In overtime. And that was just an unbelievable college basketball game as well. So we had some great basketball sequences last night. I don't know that you're going to top this, though. That was actually unbelievable.
It was also
I don't
great.
got a lot to say that. Other than LeBron being a part of the meltdown is quite entertaining.
Yeah. Hard to be the GOAT when
Stacey
you're causing them to lose like that.
Stacey King on the call. Very good as well.
He's clearly a Bulls fan. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who's Stacy?
Is he a former Bull?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is.
Oh.
That's me. Known stuff.
Look at you. We have one more spin.
Oh, please.
I don't know how to hold this. It's very, very janky. We got like a fake leg here. All right, here we go.
Okay, focus.
Last spin.
Carry on. It's going to be a repeat.
Blue or purple would be a repeat. Is that green?
It's more green, but it's on the prong.
Do we want to do a respin?
That's green.
Okay, we
No,
can
that's
just do green.
Do you want me to do a respin?
It's up to you.
We could be here all day. Let's just
Okay,
go green.
we're going to go with green. We do head down to Florida, but unfortunately, it is not for what you guys were hoping. No! It's so we can see the GOAT, Graham Mertz, throwing a dot.
Ah, jeez.
Back from his ACL injury, throwing to Chemray
Not doing
DK. Dude's
Not
going to be in
doing
the
this.
NFL. He's going to lead a team to a
He
Super
is.
Bowl.
Now that's where we go way too far.
I closed the YouTube screen.
He might be a practice squad player. on a
I'm
Super Bowl
not.
team, but
I'm not participating in Hunter's Russian propaganda for Graham Mertz.
for those of you that aren't aware, Hunter literally runs a Twitter account that he denies
I don't.
running called Graham Mertz is good.
I don't.
It's just kind of I just find it convenient that moments after they tweet something, we get a text that they had tweeted something. I just think it's convenient, Hunter.
Or
Awfully-
maybe
you got push
the
noties
two.
on?
I was going to say the two Twitter accounts that I have push notifications are Luke Fickle and Graham Mertz is good.
What a sad existence. That's depressing, Hunter.
I don't need all of that other clutter. Those are the only two accounts that I care about. There's no
That's
other account
sad,
that I need
Hunter.
tweet notifications
Can
for.
we just get on the same freaking page for? Hold on. That's sad,
No.
Josh.
Whatever floats his boat. It is holding on to something that
Hold
is.
on. No. We are not going to do that. You are the biggest yuck your yum guy on the planet.
It's so insignificant. He likes Graham Mertz a lot. I don't know what to say other than he's leading a fan club that his own family members have probably jumped off of at this point.
Oh, yeah, my wife hates it. I showed her the clip. She's like, I don't care about Graham Mertz anymore.
He met Graham Mertz's family jumped off the bandwagon, not yours.
Oh. His sister did like a tweet that I had posted once defending him and then instantly unliked it because she realized maybe that shouldn't be out there. So, because I said that Paul Christ was the reason why Graham Mertz wasn't as good as he should have been.
All right, here's what we're going to do, Hunter. Tell me the color that the clip we want to do is associated with.
This ruins the integrity of the game, but it would be red.
Tell me what it is.
It's red.
Okay, it's red. I'm going to spin the wheel. We have a 80% chance it doesn't land on red.
If it doesn't, I'm walking out of the program.
You quit?
Yeah. Well, for the day.
Oh, that's pathetic. That's sad.
So not only if it doesn't land on red, we're not watching the clip. Joshy's done for the show. I'm a gambling man. Let's go, baby. Here we go.
No red. No red. No
want
red.
red.
No red. No red.
Come on, baby.
No way.
Let's go.
I can't believe this.
Let's go. I told you I'm a gambling man.
Wow.
That was electric. That was electric.
Take that, Hunter.
We head back down to the Florida Gators. And this man, I don't even remember how big he is, but Desmond Watson.
He is 464 pounds.
6'6", 464.
And he ran a faster 40 than Alex Strouf, and we have the tape.
All right, so much better start than me.
He's explosive.
Although I bet I beat him in a 20-yard split, but then, I mean, he just carries. Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. I assume he's a defensive tackle.
Yes.
Where else are you putting
They're
him?
calling him the push-tush stopper.
Oh.
I mean, it can't be overstated that a man. How much do you weigh?
I weigh about 175.
So a man nearly a guy who, if he has a few too many Code Reds and Dr. Peppers, is pushing 300 pounds more than you.
He's almost 3 times my weight.
Yeah.
525 is 175 times 3. He's 464.
And this guy has a lot of lore about him. When he came into college as an 18-year-old, there were stories about him being over 500 pounds at that time. So he slimmed down at this rate to 464.
He ran, so hold on a minute. And again, comparing me to a guy that is going to be a professional athlete is probably not fair. But when he's 464 pounds.
You would think someone your size, your weight, would be able to beat him in a race.
And the answer is I can't.
Now, if it's 60 yards, I think you might get him, because I can't imagine that gas tank carries him much more than 40.
That's fair. The thing is, I don't really understand why defensive tackles run the 40.
It does show explosiveness.
Okay, sure. He also, outjumped me by 9 inches in terms of vertical jump. He got 450 plus pounds off the ground further than I could.
He had a 25-inch vertical.
Mine was, 17 and a half?
I believe 17 was what you ended up at.
Yeah. Really, really impressive from Desmond. What's his name? Desmond Watson.
And he's currently unranked, but if you are a team in the late and you think you can get him to slim down to 380,
that's a lot of weight.
A lot. But I can't imagine his, if you watch his clips and if you Desmond Watson highlight tapes, he moves for somebody 464 pounds is unfathomable, especially in the NFL. Even though the biggest guys you see, they're usually around 330.
It's also the fact that he's able to complete the conditioning test that you have to, because Brad would probably remember it. Brad Nortman, former NFL punter, would probably remember it better. But I think the NFL conditioning test, you have to be able to run 110 yards, but you do the sideline to sideline run, and you have to be able to do that in under a minute or something like that, and then you have to run it again. I can't remember exactly what it is, but he clearly is able to do that, and at his size, to be able to do that, if you can get him to cut down that weight, it's going to be, he could actually do something.
There's a super athlete underneath that. For him to be moving that fast and that well at that size is crazy.
It is. And I really thought this was going to be more of a knock on me than it was a compliment to him. So I'm actually happy with how this worked out.
Well,
we've already beat you down so much.
Yeah, it's hard to hammer home somebody nearly 300 pounds more than you, moving faster than you. That I don't think can be. When you step away, I want people to just have that.
Can I ask you a few questions before we move on? Do you think I'm stupid?
No.
Do you think I am irritating?
Irritating? Yeah, of course.
Do you think I am cocky?
Yes.
Do you think I am egotistical?
Yes.
Do you think I am narcissistic?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You have tendencies. Not all the time. But there's moments where you definitely do.
Running the 40.
Well, somebody who is narcissistic would take the whole segment and be like, yeah, it's about me. Let me talk about me a little bit more.
That's not what I did, though.
You literally asked us questions about yourself. By definition, you literally did exactly what a narcissist would do.
Out of nowhere.
Okay.
Sometimes you know what? Are you a gaslighter? Yes. Because everyone else was on the same page, and you said, that's not what I did. And I thought, did I have a stroke? What just happened?
There's a reason to it. There's a reason. There's a reason I asked it. It's because I've noticed recently that Josh's fuse with me has grown shorter and shorter. So I just wanted to make sure he still liked me.
Well, I've said for a long time I like you. I have negative qualities.
Do you?
Yeah, of course.
What are they?
I'm probably a little rude, probably a little short. Probably don't check in with people and see how they're doing enough. I'm kind of just in my own world over here a lot of times.
You know too many words.
Yeah, you think you're smarter than everybody?
See, that's something you've diagnosed me with because I'm smarter than you. And you think it applies to the world.
Well, does he think he's smarter than everybody?
Yes.
Well,
He
kind of is sometimes.
Here's the thing. I've never once insinuated I'm smarter than Hunter, but you two dopes. I'm a member of Mensa over here.
Brewers lose their season opener yesterday.
Oh, you didn't want to try and go after that one, Strouf?
Just breezing right past it. Brewers lose. Devin Williams had the opportunity to do the greatest thing ever, which was melt down against the Brewers. Unfortunately, with bases loaded, he did allow a run, but too little, too late. Jackson Churia could have played hero. I mean, wolf, what a rough opening day. An opening day to forget for Churia. 0 for 5 strikeouts. His career high strikeouts in a game prior to that was 3, so he beat it. And then he beat it again.
Yeah. It feels like that was a man pressing. Opening day, he views this as his coming out party. As much as last year was, this is where you cement yourself as an MLB star. Like, he looked lost. And from a guy, and as much as spring training does not translate to the regular season, that's a thing that gets all of us every single year. We're like, oh my God, this guy had 9 home runs, even though Vinny Capra just stepped out of the plate and had a home run right away. Most of the times, like, you can see guys who basically can't hit the baseball in spring training come out and they're just scorching hot. Mm-hmm. And so there's really nothing to take from that. It just feels like young guy. I mean, he's 22 now? No, he just turned 21 because they celebrated by allowing him to have beer.
Correct.
Because the first time they didn't.
Yeah, he was 20 last season.
That was a guy, big moment, Yankee Stadium, opening day, pressing.
Look, it is what it is, right? I mean, there's still 161 of these puppies left, and there's no doubt he's still the face of this franchise.
Yes, he's going to have 30 home runs.
He's going to be fine. But to your point, Joshy, the spotlight is the brightest. It's a national television game. You're at Yankee Stadium. It's a huge game. Everybody in America's watching at least a little bit of it. And the guy just couldn't make contact. I think he fouled off less balls than he struck out.
Yeah,
times he struck out. So not a great opening day for Jackson Churia, but it'll be all right. So just to make sure I've got my baseball terminology down here as the season begins. 4 strikeouts in a game is a golden sombrero. Mm-hmm. 5 strikeouts in a game is a platinum sombrero. Yeah. In the rare occasion that somebody would strike out 6 times in a game, is there a name for that?
I don't believe we have a term for that, Hunter.
I don't think so. I'm going to look it up. But like,
how many times?
That'd be so absurd to get that many at bats. Like,
is that a double platinum sombrero? Like, that's what happens when you go platinum a few times.
Sapphire.
Oh, okay. Diamond sombrero.
Yeah.
Only 8 players have had 6 strikeouts in one game.
Are any of the Milwaukee Brewers?
Yes, Jeff Jenkins.
There you go.
Jeff with
a G, right?
Jeff Jenkins was the last person to do it in 2004.
It hasn't happened since 2004?
Yeah.
Wow.
Only 8 players have had 6 strikeouts in one game, as listed as the following. Okay. Cecil Cooper did it while he was a Red Sox.
No kidding.
And then that dates back to 1913. Carl Wallman of the St. Louis Browns.
Wow.
Was the first to do it.
Google AI is giving me 2 answers to a 6 strikeout outing. First, back in 1991, pitcher Mike Flanagan of the Baltimore Orioles referred to his teammate Sam Horn and said that it was a horn for striking out 6 times. He did it in an extra inning game. There is also then, it's giving me titanium sombrero.
Oh, I like that. I like titanium. Sorry, Will. I think Sapphire loses out
Titanium wins. That's good. I like that.
You don't remember Jeff Jenkins.
I know the name. No, but
I remember really. Geoff.
I do remember famously.
I knew his name was with a G. I said that.
Yeah, Geoff. Yeah. Frustrating player.
Good
guy. Nice guy.
You met him?
Yeah, I believe he was here.
As in?
Like, I believe he came here for something, like our office at one point.
I have his bobblehead.
I don't know if it was
from the first season of
specific one, but I remember walking by and going, "Hey, that's Jeff Jenkins."
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. All right, you learn something new every day. That's what I learned. Whoa, what just happened? You learn something new every day. We learned something new today. I tried to get fancy with it. It didn't work.
Yeah, no.
It's time now for what we learned to wrap up the show and the week here on Mr. Irrelevant. Draft hats are out, but I've explained this before, and Josh, I know you love when I bring this up, but my high school job was working at Lids, the hat store. I worked in the Bay Park Square Mall in Green Bay, just up the street from where the draft will be in a couple of months. Worked there for about 4 years off and on, in high school and into college. It was like my winter break and spring break job. I'd come back and make a few bucks at the hat store. So I've got a little bit of a hat knowledge background. I know hats very well. And the draft hats came out really cool. They've got a pin for every team. Every team has some sort of symbol that relates to their team. For the Packers, it is a bicycle, right? So the bikes from training camp come with the hat. But the hat, so there are fitted hats, which is the measurement ones. So that would be between 7 and 8. And then there's obviously the eighth of an inch. So 7 and 8, 7 and 1/8. The most common hat size in America is 7 3/8. You should probably fact check that given some of the things I've said today, but I believe it's 7 3/8 is the most common hat size. And it goes all the way up to 8 inches. And then there are snapbacks, right? So those are adjustables. Josh is wearing a snapback right now, or you can obviously adjust it with the snaps. The fitted cap for this is $49, $49.99, $50. The snapback version is $42.99, and it doesn't even come with the pin. So hats are very expensive now. That is what I learned. But also, I like it. I like what they did with the draft hat this year, which I don't like it every year, but I do like what they did this year with a little sentimental pin.
I just want to take a quick pause.
Oh, here we go.
What I learned is hats are expensive. Just so we're all on the same page.
And I know hats. So something he knew,
okay. No, I knew
he's
that.
claiming he
I knew
learned.
that.
Okay.
What do you guys got?
I'm happy it's the weekend. It means less of you.
I
Yeah.
got something.
I need a break from this show.
Will's got something?
Yeah, have you guys heard of the Kevin Willard Maryland stuff?
So descriptive.
Basically, before the Sweet 16 game last night versus Florida, which they eventually lost, he was already claiming, or he didn't claim anything, but everyone knew he was already going to take the Villanova job. So fans at the hotel were booing him while he was on his way to the Sweet 16 game last night. Just because I feel like if you're a head coach in the NCAA nowadays, you got to do what the McNeese coach did and either say you're going to leave before the season's over or just say, no comment, I love my team. It's one or the other. He kind of just sat in the middle, and now it's this whole thing about coaches leaving and the NIL, and then it's the saddest team a team has ever been going to the Sweet 16. I thought that was interesting.
Okay. Did you learn about the stuff and the thing, Joshy?
I did. I also learned it's a Depticon right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on.
The board games hobby seminars. No wonder BO was leaking out of that room.
That's mean. I learned that Backyard Baseball is now available on your phone. So I've never been more distracted at work than I have the last 2 days. Best $5 I ever spent.
One of the greatest video game athletes in the history of video games.
That is a fact. All right. I can't handle Josh anymore, so we got to end the show.
Do you think there's going to be any carnal passions between these people to this over the weekend?
Okay.
What does that mean?
No.
Do you think there's going to be any hookups?
No, stop. Stop. Let's just end the show. It's a Friday.
The Best Western's going to be rocking.
Stop.
Maybe a little strip Catan? Who knows?
Stop. Why?
Gives a new meaning to brick in Catan. Gives a new meaning. Oh. No. You got any wood? What do you mean by that? I love Catan. Great game. That'll do it for us. We'll talk to you Monday. Peace.